Welcome back, everyone. Today we're coming to you from my very own backyard. I'm actually moving into a new place right now, which is why I've been a bit like off here and there. Like I did misspeak the other day about Bitfarms and their exahash. I apologize for that. They are at 11.3, not 20. I got them mixed up with IREN. I've been barely sleeping the last last week and a half or so trying to get moved into this new place. Got a nice yard that I'm sitting in now. I'm very happy with that. Anyways. Um, we're going to talk a little bit about MicroStrategy today. AMD, they had earnings, then they had a pretty wicked drop off. You can see the miners are having a bad day today, along with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's also having kind of a bad day. And we're going to talk about that's looking like, if there's any potential entries here and there. And let's get right into it. So first of all, we're going to talk about actually AMD. We're going to start with AMD. AMD earnings came out last night. Okay, they must have had bad forward guidance because they barely missed on EPS. They beat on revenue by 1.59%. And with that, they had let's go to the 1 day, and they had a 9% drop. Okay, a 9% drop. If you're going to compare that to Tesla, that got a 22% up move off of earnings that were, they missed revenue by a significantly larger margin, but they had more earnings per share because they had their multiples, or they showed higher multiples, probably due to the Cybertruck. But anyways, they technically missed earnings, and they got a 22% off of forward guidance. So AMD, they must have missed on their forward guidance there because their earnings really weren't like terrible. They weren't like amazing, but they weren't bad necessarily, not like 10% down bad. But right now you can see here, if we go to the hourly, back to the hourly here, you can see that it is flattening out down here. This might be the bottom. It might be the bottom, but what I want to see is this average force here. Actually, at least let's go to the 30-minute. Yeah, average force. I want to see average force on the 30-minute starting to get smaller here. I see this fast momentum ribbon here start turning yellow and go up, and I'd like to see the slow one stop widening. I mean, it has stopped widening, but that's because it hit zero. And I'd like to see it start to curl back up again before I'd be interested in this. And the highest I think I'd be looking at in the short term is like 153, maybe up to 158. The issue here that I have with AMD, I was bullish on this before. Can't remember if I brought it to the channel or not because I've been so out of it. But the thing that concerns me here is that we made a lower low. So see this right here? This was the low before, it was about 150.60. We are below that by about $1. Okay, we're below that by about $1. If we go back to the daily, you can see that AMD was making higher highs and higher lows, right? But now we made a lower low today. We made a lower low today. And that could undo this pattern. So if we come back up, we could do an upswing, maybe to the 21 to like 158. But then if we cannot come back and conquer, what is it? We cannot come back and conquer 167 and get higher than 167 in the next 2 weeks or so. Well, then we're looking at turning this bullish stair-stepping pattern that AMD has been on since August 5th and turning that into a bearish pattern. So we're watching that very, very closely on AMD. That is a trade idea I have in mind that I am watching. I'm also interested in ARM, because ARM, you can see on the daily, ARM hit a trend line. It hit a beautiful trend line, right? It bounced right off my trend line there. And I actually rode that up a little bit. I haven't talked about it yet, but I rode that up a little bit, and I'm looking at potentially getting into another entry here. If near the end of the day today, we start seeing that wanting to close up where it currently is, I'd be looking at this potentially to continue to go a little bit higher, up to maybe the top of this ascending channel here, or maybe just the ATR bands at 166. That's what I'm looking at for that. All right.
Station break. Go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe if you've been with us a while and haven't done so yet. Both of those things help our growing channel so much. You can't imagine how much it helps, and it just takes a second. Check out the Trade Cave store, link in the description, as well as the channel bio. We've got some excellent products on here, some awesome shirts and hoodies. Do not sleep on the sticker shop. That's a Redbubble link in the description, as well as the channel bio there. We've got some nice affordable stickers that have some excellent art from our t-shirts and hoodies as well. Let's get back into the action.
Let's move on to MicroStrategy and the miners. MicroStrategy, this is the hourly chart for MicroStrategy. This morning started with a wicked stop hunt. Look at that. Look at that long wick on bottom. That was a stop hunt. came all the way down to 238, 239. If I were up and awake this morning, which I was not, I would have bought that. I would have bought that, but I missed it. So now I'm looking at this here being a bull flag. I'm looking at that being a bull flag for micro strategy. And I'm looking for it to basically, I'm going to watch the hourly and the 30-minute. And I'm looking for this average force here. See how it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller? I'm looking for that to make one or two larger ones, right? One or two larger columns there. And I want to see this fast stochastic ribbon here. I want to see that flip yellow. As soon as that flips yellow and I get a larger yellow bar here on average force, I'm going in on this because this is a perfect textbook. This is a textbook move from the top ATR band down to the 21. It's a 21 EMA pullback basically. If it bounces off of this, we're going higher than the previous high, which was 267. So it'd be a $17 swing. That's not bad. Same thing just like here, right? We came up off of the 21, we came back, tapped the 21, and went higher. See how we tapped it with that stop loss hunt, went a little bit lower, and then curled up? Right here, exact same thing. We did a stop loss hunt, came up a little higher, came up higher, drove down a little bit lower than that, and then we're going to continue higher from there likely. But let's watch for it. Let's watch for it. Not going to front run it. We're going to watch it. And if we go to the 30-minute, we can see here on the 30-minute, the 30-minute is, yeah, it's kind of vacillating around. It's not really deciding. See how the average force is making a smaller bar there. The ribbons are still pointing down. I want to see the ribbon, at least the fast ribbon. I want to see it be yellow and pointing up, much like it was right here when it pinched right after that stop hunt, and we went from 249 up to 256. That's a $7 swing there, and that would be amazing on on an options contract. So I'm looking for it to, honestly, I'd like to see it break this trend line right here. I'd like to see it break this line. I'd like to see it break that line with a growing average force, a yellow fast stochastic ribbon, the slow one at least curling up on the 30-minute. On the hourly, I want to see similar things, right? I want to see it break that trend line. I want to see average force giving me a larger column, and I want to see the fast stochastic curl up and start coming back up towards here, because this low one is where it needs to be. It can be purple all day long up here as long as it's up above 75, 70, 75. The fast one can curl around on it just like it did back here on October 23rd, just like it did back there, and then come right back up into it without the slow one ever leaving overbought territory. So the fast one is really giving us those swings. The fast one is showing us the bear and bull flags with its move down and then curl up, just like here on the ribbons. So that's what I'm watching for micro strategy. Let's see who's doing well on the minors today. We've got, it looks like Iron's up 0.5%. That's bucking the trend. Hive up 1.17%. Wolf up 4.86%. Hut up 5.53%. Let's take a look at those two real quick. Let's take a look at Hut first. This is the winner of the day right now. Winner of the day. Oh, look at that. We're up 1836. I feel like I mentioned this zone here recently. It came up. It's right on my line. I love it. It's right on my line. That is beautiful. Right into my line, just like I've been talking about. That inverted head and shoulders, this is plating out. It's almost completely done. Goes a little bit higher, $19, $40, $20. That would be the absolute high for that inverse head and shoulders. And then we're going to need to look for a new bullish pattern to take us even higher on Hut. But that is what's playing out there on Hut. It's doing the inverted head and shoulders. It's going up to my line with perfection there. I love technical analysis. It is fantastic. Let's take a look at Wolf. What's going on with Wolf? Wolf is just driving higher. It's just driving higher and higher and higher. Now, I am seeing something I don't love right now. Let me see if it's going to play out. Let me see if it works, if I can draw it. Maybe. So we could be looking at a bit of a rising wedge on Wolf, potentially. So I would watch that. Maybe. It's not the prettiest, most well-defined one I've ever seen, but it is getting tighter up here and moving in a tighter and tighter motion from the top of that previous swing and the bottom. So the top to bottom of this swing here, we are getting a rising wedge on Wolf. So I would be a little cautious of that. I'd be watching that a little bit closely, see if it comes down. Let's take a look at our rising wedge on Core Z actually real quick. It's riding the top of it. It's riding the top of it. I am concerned about this potentially being a bull trap on Core Z a little bit, just because they're running so hot. Now they might keep going. Of course, they could keep going, but I'm a little weary about where the price is currently with Core Z. I'd be watching that pretty close. Oh, Hive was the other one that was up today. So Hive was up today. Hive. Oh, let's see. All right, so we held above this trend line here. That's actually really good. I'd want to see it come back and back test it around 387 and bounce. And we get that, and then I wouldn't be surprised to see it up at 557, up at the next trend line. That's the next area where it needs to take out that high. Well, it's got to take out 456 to take out the previous high to buck the trend entirely. And that would be fantastic if it were to do that. That'd be really good for Hive. So hopefully we can get above that 456. It has been trapped under that for the last two highs, I think, right? Yeah, the last two highs have not gotten above this area, this green line here. So if we can do that this time, ooh, Hive is going to be ready to fly there. Let's see what else is going on here. You can see CleanSpark is at 0%. CleanSpark actually had a big drop yesterday, and that was due to the CleanSpark vote. They had a vote to approve of the 600 million share APM, and that got approved. That's why we saw the drop on CleanSpark the other day. So that it was approved. They are approved to dilute the stock up to 600 million shares. Currently, there's something like 250 million or something. I'd have to look at their SEC filings to see what that currently is. But their previous ATM was up to 300 million shares. They doubled that to 600 million shares. Are they going to release that all at once? Absolutely not. It's going to be slow over time. In the last 3 or 4 months, I've noticed by monitoring their 144 filings that they have increased the share count by about 10% in the last 3 or 4 months. So this is like a multi-year process. It's not going to happen fast. It's not going to affect the 2024 outlook, but it will affect, potentially the 2025 outlook, maybe going further into the future. So that's important. Bitfarm's not doing so hot today. It's kind of in line with its peers today. Let's see here, Cypher. That's all I really wanted to cover today. I'll do a more in-depth thing here for, what is it, Thursday? No, it's Wednesday. Tomorrow, I'll talk a little bit more about that. I want to talk about CAN, which is ticker symbol CAN, soon as well. I don't want to let some of these get away from me before we start launching. I will say that of course, nothing I say is financial advice or a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever. I am looking for pullbacks to be met by bull demand. I am looking at these pullbacks as buying opportunities for this swing. Okay, let's close out with Bitcoin, Sol, Doge, and ETH. All right, let's do some real quick coin work. Why am I on 2 days? When did that happen? How much of this? How much of it was just talking about on that? I don't know, on 2 days, on the 2-day chart. Oh well, we'll find out. Okay, Bitcoin. A little weaker on average force. I'm not too concerned about this. Honestly, I'm not too concerned about this at all. We haven't even come down halfway down this bullish candle here from yesterday. We came to the exact midpoint of yesterday's bullish candle and bounced. I'm really not concerned about this move at all. I'm looking for a flag, maybe a retest of the 5-day here today or tomorrow. And from there, I'd be looking for the average force to build up again. I'd be looking for the fast ribbon here to turn from yellow to pink to yellow again here soon, and then up we go. That's what I'm looking for. We almost got to a brand new all-time high yesterday. That was fantastic, and this is good. You can see Sol doing some of the worst here out of the big ones. Sol doing the worst right now, minus 2.24%. We came down to 173-ish. Again, not too concerned. I would be fine with Sol coming down to 164 to the 21 again, and I'd be looking at that as an opportunity to pick this thing up because that would end up being a higher low. And you can see that it has been in a higher low, higher high pattern for a while here. So it started here on October 3rd. We went up, made a higher low, then we made a higher high on October 14th, higher low on October 17th, higher high on October 24th, higher low on October 25th, higher high yesterday on the 29th, and hopefully a higher low in the next day or two, at least around 167 or so, and then maybe we'll be seeing ourselves come back to 188 here, or even 200 on Solana. So that's what I'm watching there. Let's do an update on Doge. Doge real quick. I want to do Doge. All right, Doge came up to 18 cents. Hit my profit 2, so close to my profit 2. It was like a tenth of a penny off or something of my take profit, my profit zone 2, right? So 14 was my first target. Hit that with ease. 18 was my second target. We got right up on it, almost tapped it, and now we're coming back a little bit, testing the top of the ATR bands. I would expect us to do that probably for the next couple of days. We're probably going to see some sideways action until the election is done. And then from there, I'm looking for that 22. I want to see that 22. In fact, I'm going to put it on here. I want 22. Give me 22. Can I do that? 0.22. I want 22 cents. Give me 22 cents, Doge. That's my third target. And then my ultimate, like, Chad level is going to be like 27 cents. That's what I'm looking for, like 27 to 30 cents. And then I would be getting a really wicked 100% return on my Doge there. And I did just put in another order to buy if it gets down to 16.5 cents. So if it gets down to 16.5 cents, I'm going to buy another 500 Doge, taking my purchase up to 6,000 Doge. And then I'd have to look at what my average cost would be at that point. I don't think I'll be getting 100% at 27 with how much I've been averaging up. But I am looking at pullback I'm looking at pullback, pretty much any pullbacks in the sector right now. I'm looking at buying opportunities going into November. Ethereum is bucking the trend though. Ethereum is up 1.5%. Ethereum is starting to break out of our pennant. It's starting to break out of our pennant. If it closes outside of our pennant tomorrow, or today, sorry, today, and then opens and closes outside of this pennant tomorrow, I would absolutely be looking for Ethereum to come out of this slump. All right. And if Ethereum comes out of this slump, we have open air all the way up to almost $3,000 for Ethereum. And you know who's going to benefit from that? BitDigital. BitDigital is going to benefit from that. So where are we looking at BitDigital here? On BitDigital, where we are currently trading, we get just a little bit higher. 455. We got clear air all the way up to 550 almost, all the way up to 530. What? 5. Come on. Come on, man. 526. We got all the way up to 526 before we hit any real resistance. If we take out 526, okay, if we take out 526, let's say we take out 526, we are looking pretty clear up until we get to about $7, or in that range of $7 on BitDigital. So that could be our ultimate resting point for the Christmas season. Let's take a look at the weekly. I like to look at there they are. Oh man, that's all the way up at 16 bucks. I don't know if it's going to do that for Christmas. That would be pretty crazy, but I'd be very, very happy if it did. And I don't think that's going to happen. That seems outside of the realm of possibility. I do have a little strip up here. That's where I'm kind of looking for it to happen. The 3-day is not so good. Let's see about the 2-day. 2-day is not so good. Maybe the weekly is where it's at. Maybe the weekly is where it's at. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see for that one. I'm still watching it, thinking about where it's going to go. If we take out 526, I would not be surprised to see BitDigital, up in the $7 range. Here's $6 to $7 range pretty quickly after 526 if we can take that range out. Okay. Anyways, that's all I've got for you today. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Check out the Trade Cave store, link in the description, as well as the channel bio. Do not sleep on the sticker shop. That link is also in the description and bio. And have a profitable day.